Today I want to talk about how the state of the room that you spend the most time in affects your actual overall mental well-being, and why you should keep a clean room, reorganize your room regularly, and how this is going to help you. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot. It's me, Matt here, and today I'm talking about cleaning out your room and reorganizing it and so on, and how that can help your mental state of well-being. Now, as you may know if you've watched my recent videos, I recently redid my whole room. I basically got rid of most of my old furniture. I reused some of it, but I cleaned it all and rearranged it and so on. And I basically set up my room in a completely new way. Why did I do that? Well, the reason that I did that is my room was set up the way it was since before my addictions. And I was addicted for a while, and during that time, I had that room layout. And so once I got clean and once, I got my life back on track, I still had this kind of layout that I associated with those times. And a lot of people don't realise, but you associate your room with the states that you've had in there. So if you've had all these negative emotions in that room, experienced them there, you've had all these bad things happen to you, you've had all these terrible days and so on, then you're going to feel that every time you come into that room because you associate it with that room. Now on top of that, I just had a lot of clutter that I just hadn't cleared out since then because it was just kind of daunting to get rid of it all. And that also affects your mental well-being, because if you have clutter everywhere, you feel cluttered in your head basically. The state of your room does reflect the state of your head. When you've got a nice, clean, spacious room, then you're going to feel the best, and your head is not going to be so cluttered. You're going to clear your mind a little bit. And so I wanted to redo my room so I could basically redo my mindset and, kind of get rid of all the negative associations I had with this room because of the bad things I went through, during my addiction and so on when I was here. And I did that. I rearranged the whole room and it looks awesome now, and it feels like a completely different place. It doesn't carry the associations of the old place because it doesn't look like it whatsoever. Like, the only thing that is reminiscent of those times are the walls, because I still haven't painted them yet. And once those are painted, it's not going to have that association, and that's it. So I was able to completely remove these negative associations from my room just by rearranging everything. And so I ask you guys to consider doing the same, particularly if you had anything bad happen to you in there, or if you've just gone through a really depressing time of your life in there. Just refreshing the room may change your mindset massively. In fact, even if you're going through a depressing time right now, you might be feeling awful, you might be hating your life, you may find, as weird as it sounds, that just by rearranging all the furniture in your room, cleaning everything out, getting rid of clutter and so on, that suddenly you feel happy again. Now, this sounds a bit silly, but it really does work, because a lot of people don't realise this, but the place that you're spending most of your time in is affecting your thoughts constantly. So if the room, inadvertently makes you feel bad, then you're going to feel bad there. And until you change the room, you're not going to get rid of those thoughts and feelings. So for me, just changing everything up has had a massive impact. Like, I was already happy, I was already, feeling good and everything, because I take the time to, take care of myself, of my health, of my body, of my mind and so on. But doing this has been like a massive refresher. I feel like a massive sense of extra happiness has come over me since doing it. I just, my head is clearer, I can think more clearly and so on. And it just feels nice to be in a new, clean space. And so think about it, especially if you've been living in a room for quite a while. Even if your room is really clean and nice looking, if you've been living in it for several years, in the same room, the same apartment, the same house, whatever, then you should consider just rearranging things even a little bit. Even just swapping a couple of bits of furniture around will actually make a big difference, because it's going to feel like a new room, and that sense of being somewhere new is going to get your excitement going again. Because, for example, dopamine, a chemical that's responsible for a lot of our feelings of happiness and euphoria and so on, is only released in response to new things, to novelty. So if you're in a room that is kind of boring to you because you've been living there for so many years, you're not going to get any, extra sense of well-being just from being there. But if you're in a new room, in a new house or whatever, you're going to get a sense of well-being just from being there because it's a new place. You might notice that if you've ever moved house, even if you didn't want to move house, just being in that new space kind of gives you a sense of excitement. So just changing your room a little bit and rearranging things can do that as well. So write down one thing now that you can change about your room. If you want to redo the whole thing, then do that. But it could be something as simple as just clearing out all the clutter, giving the room a good clean, swapping a couple of pieces of furniture around. Do whatever you can to make it feel a little bit more like a new room, and you're going to notice a massive, massive improvement in your well-being. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to watch more, remember to subscribe over there and check out my other videos. And if you aren't already, support me on Patreon and check out my Patreon page in general. Even if you don't want to support, check it out because I blog about the channel there and so I make regular public posts. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.